Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to lesson 13 of the MyListing course, Recreating the Canvas Starter Site. In today's lesson, we're going to look at the Explore page, Taxonomy Pages, enhanced permalinks, and I've also thrown in the author page for this lesson. It's not to say that the author page isn't important and it's an afterthought. It's just I didn't know how else to group it into, and I didn't want to do a specific lesson just on that page. So I threw it in this one, and that is what it is. All right, so a brief recap of the previous lesson. We put the How It Works page, Get Started page, and Reach Further pages in place. These are meant to help with the customer journey. It's also meant to help listing owners know what's possible on your platform, which in turn can be more revenue for you. So help them do more, and then more. That means more money in your pocket, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and kick it off here with the Explore page. And we look at our project template to see our progress over here. And we see our Explore page as our next task. There's a lot of information in the MyListing project template for the Explore page. I'm not going to get into all of that here, but you can check that out if you want to get the project template. Or go ahead and just go look at this free mega guide from the club, Build an Online Business Using the MyListing Theme. It's going to outline, the ins and outs of an Explore page. Okay, and everything we talk about here today. So region pages are covered, enhanced permalinks are covered, author page, and so on and so forth. All right, so check out that guide. But yeah, so let's go ahead and do the Explore page. So back into our dashboard of this new Canvas replica. Let's go to Pages. We see that here we've got a placeholder here from a previous lesson. We just created the Explore page. I believe that was just so we could get our menus set up. So we're going to go ahead and edit this. Okay, and we're going to edit it with Elementor. And for the sake of time, I'm just going to copy and paste from the Canvas site. Okay, so this gives us, that dropped in the 27 Explore widget there. I didn't put it, for this particular site, I didn't do a title or a subtitle. We're using template 1. A lot of this, the default settings here. We see here, this is a key feature, or a key setting component here is we need to define all of our listing types. Currently, the only listing type we have is the expert, so that's fine. But we will eventually add all of our listing types here. And yeah, so that's that. You can download this template from the club and just pop it in. So I'm gonna click update here, and let's go view this page on the front end. So we need our navigation up here at the top. All right, so for that, let's go back into our WordPress dashboard. We're going to go to Appearance and Menus. And what we need to recreate is the Explore portion of Canvas. So I'm going to bring Canvas over here. So up in our header, we see this Explore menu. So that's what we're going to recreate here. All right. So back in our menus, I'm going to create a placeholder. Actually, I take that back. We're going to use the Explore page right here. We're going to add that. That's going to be our top level menu item for Explore. And then let me go over here into Canvas and copy some, so we can copy some stuff. All right, so under our Explore menu, let's just do the experts for now because that's the listing type we were focusing on to begin with. So what I'm going to do is create a custom link here. So custom links, we're going to call this, the link text is going to be, I'm just going to paste this in. So what we're doing is we're using the MyListing shortcut ability. If you're not familiar with that, you can go under Theme Tools and then the shortcodes option, and you can generate an icon, and you just drop that shortcode in anywhere you want to display one of the icons from MyListing. So we're dropping in the icon that matches our listing type icon, and then we're just appending a space and then the word experts at the end, okay? For our URL, you know what? Hold on one second here. So let's see. I actually forgot. See, it's been a minute. I mean, this is a new site, but I forgot that I have I created actual unique pages for these. Even though this is a new starter site, recently released, there's just a lot going on. Okay, so let's create a new page. We're going to call this expert. So I created individual pages for this starter site for each listing type. All right, so let's go ahead and create that. We're going to set over here under the right-hand column here in WordPress, we're going to set under page attributes, we're going to put this page under Explore. So that's going to give us that hierarchy in our back end of WordPress, as well as in our URL structure. I'm going to click Publish here and Edit with Elementor. And I'm just going to copy the same content from the Explore page, drop it into Experts. The difference is when I edit this Explore page widget, I'm going to knock all of the listing types out except for Expert. So all we want this page to do is just focus only on the experts. There we go. And we've got the Explore page there. Okay, so that's why I was brain farting the menus. I was like, what? This is looking different. Okay, so let's go ahead and save our menu, update. So now we see that hierarchy start to build, Explore, and then Experts. So we're going to just choose Experts here, and then we're going to move that slightly to the right, indent it to the right to indicate to WordPress that this is a sub-menu item. All right, and save our changes. But we want to put that label back in for the menu. So I'm going to go back over here and grab that new navigation label. Sorry, I can't talk. There we go. So we've got that shortcut. We've got that icon with a space and then experts appended to it. Save. All right. So now when we refresh this page, we will have the Explore menu started to build here. And I placed this at the top. So I'm going to go back to our menus and let's move this all the way to the top. And let's remove home. This is a more modern way of doing things. Some people like to show the home menu. A modern way to do that is not to have a home menu. You just know to click on the logo. So totally up to you what you want to do there, preference-wise. All right, so now we have that menu starting to build there. All right, so let's go ahead. If they click into Explore, they're going to get, obviously all of the listing types in this one. Let me edit. So now we're on the main Explore page. Let's go ahead. We'll just knock all of these out and put Expert in here. There we go. So that's starting to build. Let's refresh. All right, there we go. And now if we go to Experts, this should look identical. There we go. So we don't need to worry about the ins and outs of how this is looking right now, because we need to add our additional listing types. We need to build out our listing types, that sort of thing. That's how you're going to get that look. I haven't decided yet, but I think we're just going to focus on the experts listing type just for the sake of time, and because that's the most unique listing type so far for this starter site. It has a unique design of the cards and things like that. So I think that's going to be our focus. But I wanted to show you how all of this is created and the hierarchy and all of that stuff. All right. Okay, so that's the Explore page. If we want to quickly run down what this stuff is doing, we don't have a title placed in here or a subtitle. If you've ever seen that, if you insert that over here in the top left, you're going to see a title and a subtitle. I took that out for this particular site just to keep things nice and clean. We're using the default template 1. The default results for the mobile default view, the default column selection, the default pagination, which is showing pages. What else is a really important thing? We've got our listing type in there. We've got our custom map skin that we're going to use all throughout the site, and that's done with Mapbox. Very simple to do. I've got a guide and a video on all of that. What else? You can default, if you didn't know, you can default the latitude and longitude to a certain area. Currently we see here London is on there. Because this site is worldwide, I just went with the defaults here. I believe that's the defaults. Yeah, I think it is. And that's really about it. It's really about it. Nothing too crazy in there, okay? All right, so the next thing is we notice a little bit of issues, like this button styling and whatnot. So for that, we're going to go back to WP Code Box. If you're not familiar with that, I talk about it all the time. And so, throughout this course, just throughout everything I do with my listing, how important it is. So we're going to go to WP Code Box, and we are going to create a code snippet, a CSS package, if you will, for the Explore page. So we want new snippet. We're going to call this Explore page light mode. The snippet type is CSS. We want this to render on the front end footer. Within the front end footer, we're going to open the conditions builder, and we want to apply this to a number of areas. Okay, this one's got a few conditions. If the page URL contains the word Explore. Now, remember, so when we're building this hierarchy, you see how no matter which listing, whether we go to the core Explore page or we go to these individual Explore pages, experts in this case, you're always going to have the word Explore in the URL. So that's how we're able to say, if the page URL contains Explore, apply this code snippet. Okay, we're going to add another condition. If the page URL contains the word category, page URL contains category. Okay, another one. If the page URL contains region. And lastly, if the page URL contains the word tag. And we're going to get into all of this stuff later. So I'm going to save changes here. And we're going to drop in the code. Again, all of this stuff is downloadable from the club. Save. Okay, so now let's refresh. Let's drop this down into our folder here. Let's refresh. There we go. We see some things starting to change. This looks good. All right, that all looks good. We don't have any taxonomies. We don't have anything in here to build that's going to build this all out yet. We don't have we have a ways to go. We're just starting to build the foundation here. But we now have that Explore page in there. We've got the styling. Yeah, so that's that. All right, so let's go back to our template. We've got the Explore page in there. We need to do, now we'll do that next. So we'll do the region pages next. I've got these pulled up over on Canvas so I can easily copy them in. So our region pages are, highly valuable for SEO. So if locations are important to your business, especially like, let's say you have a local directory, you want to highlight neighborhoods, or maybe like if you're in the United States, like maybe you're focusing on a particular state, and then you want to target those cities and have those region pages for the cities. If you want to go all the way across the US, then you have like the states and then the cities and then maybe even as granular as the town. If you're going to do the whole world, then you could have like the US and then states, and like, you see what I'm saying? You build out those region pages for the regions. Okay, so we're going to add a new page. We're going to call this, I think I called it United States. call this United States. And we're going to publish this. This is just a placeholder page for now. On the Canvas site, I didn't build out this page, just as a placeholder. All right. All right, let's add a new page. Let's call this one California. This is a state in the United States. We want to go to our page attributes over here on the right-hand side of our editor, and we want to choose that new United States. So we want to place it under the United States because it is a state of the United States. We're building that hierarchy. Okay, and let's go ahead and edit this page, Elementor. And I'm going to drop in all of the content from Canvas. Okay, we'll go ahead and just wait a second for it to finish doing its thing. All right, so now let's quickly run through getting this. You know what? Let's publish this and refresh and see if it jars some things loose. Lovely Elementor, guys. All right, so this obviously doesn't look right. We just need to change that color, so we're going to change it. See that? Just by clicking into that, I didn't change any color. It's an Elementor thing. Yeah, it's very strange. All right, the font we used for this was region page title. So I have a special global font for this region page title, just because it's bigger font. You don't have to do that if you don't want to on your site. That's just how I did it. Everything else is looking pretty good. State of California. I've got videos on how all of this is built. I don't want to get into all the specifics about the dynamic data and all this. I just want to get the look, show you how to get the look. All right, so this canvas card on the right, we are using a global font size, a global style of medium on this. There we go. Just clicking into that, it kind of it already set itself. That's just bizarre. Okay. Same thing for this. We want medium. Which it already did. This button was actually supposed to be black. There we go. I don't even know anymore, Elementor, what you're doing. Sorry, content. Let's go into that. That's probably just going to flip over. Close. Medium, and the text is supposed to be black. And the description was black. There we go. All right, that looks good. Moving on down, this is a weather widget. This is a free tool called weatherwidget.io, and you can just go in and punch in the parameters, style it however you want, and then just paste that into an HTML block. So that's where that's coming from. Okay, this card over here on the left does not have its styling. So we just need to set that real quick. I think I just did canvas black on hover, and there we go. And then the font size we have as medium for all of these cards. All right, there we go. That looks good. We do not have any event listings. That's why this is currently empty. We don't have any restaurants. That's why that one is empty. This post grid down here is pulling from. We don't have that styling. We don't actually even have the posts. So that's not a big deal. That's we will hit that later when we get to the blog and stuff like that. We won't worry about it here. And then here we have a newsletter block. This font should be white. The text size should be medium. There we go. And this field color should be white. So that field text color should be white and the button should be black. If you watch my other videos, I explain why we have to go through and set this stuff. Basically, it comes down to every site's different. You might have something else set, and you just need to quickly adjust it for your own site and liking. Okay, parks, we don't have any of those listing types yet. This card over here is the same as this one, so we're just going to copy the style from this one, paste this in. We don't have any this listing type yet, so that's not in there. We're not going to worry about all of this stuff down here at the bottom because that's just something for you to manually fill in. I am working on trying to make this stuff, even more and more dynamic. So stay tuned there. But for now, this is what it is. Okay, so that's basically it. Like I said, for the articles here, we'll do that later. But for all intents and purposes, this is how this would be set up, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and get rid of this Explorer page, this Explorer page. Now let's create another page. Now let's do this a state within California. So we'll do San Diego. Page attributes, we want to change this to its parent, which is California, still building that hierarchy. Edit this page. Now, this is going to go much faster here. I'm going to copy all the content from Canvas, but because we already have the parent styled, we're just going to copy all the styling over. Okay, so let's just start copying all of this stuff over. This one is a little bit different, smaller font, but just the same color. So we're going to go in here, same color. What this does is this links to the parent page. So if they want to, get back to this page, that's how that works. Again, in the future, I'm going to try to make all of this dynamic, but for now, that is what it is. Let's copy all of these CTA stylings over. This one should be white actually on hover, and there we go. That looks good. All right, that's it. We went over the weather. Okay, let's get these cards on the left. This is like a key point, like just being careful not to keep reinventing the wheel. Like if you didn't know, there's a lot of people that don't know that copy style thing even exists. Right? So it's definitely something that you should keep in mind to save yourself some time. So what this, did that end up bringing over? Let's see. Let's go to posts. That's weird. I don't know where those posts coming from. I don't know where these are coming from. It's probably that's weird. Anyway, getting off track here. All right, so let's copy this stuff. Let's copy this form. There we go. That's all good. That's all good. Let's copy this. Cool. That's all good. All right, so all of that looks good. Again, we'll talk about the articles later. The posts, that all looks good. All right. There's a reason I'm showing you guys all this other than just, some tips on how to copy style, on how to, if you import these templates individually, the things that you're going to need to change. But we're going to look at, there's a reason we're going through all of this too, as far as permalinks and things like that I wanted to show you. Okay, so for all intents and purposes, that is the parent and child region pages, okay? So we've knocked that out. So now before we get to the author page, let's get to the permalinks. So when you go on an Explorer page, typically with a MyListing website, you're going to have a cart. You know what? Let's just set it up. All right, so go to listing types. Let's go to expert. And what do I want to do here? I want to build one of these from scratch with you, but let's see. Let's go ahead and get what we need to just for the purposes of this video. So we're going to get the category field in there. Find that here. So I called this industry for the experts. So instead of category, I called it industry. And let's put in the description just to match. We did a term select, so they're only allowed to select one category in this case. We made this a required field because we wanted to build out that URL structure. And all of this stuff is good here. Next up would be region. And for that, I call this the nearest major city. Put in the description here while we're at it. For this one, I did term hierarchy. So they have to go in and then select the parent region, child region, and so on and so forth. This is also required to help build out the URL. And for other reasons. All right, so we've got the two main things we need for what we're going to demonstrate in this video, which are the enhanced permalinks. All right, next up, we want to go to the preview card. And down here in the footer section, we want to say terms. So we want to show some terms in our footer. And to start, we're going to do regions. We'll go ahead and check these boxes here to show the quick view, bookmark, and add to comparison. All right, let's save this. Let's go back to our Explorer page and refresh. Okay, actually I need to go and edit the listing so we can get some data in there. So let's edit our listing here. Let's put in, we have no industry to put in. So we need a category, right? Like I said, industry was actually the category. So we're gonna go to categories. And let me see what I did for this particular listing so I can match it up. Business and financial is what her experts, business financial. All right, so we need a category of business financial. Let me go over here and copy this information. All right, so I called this business and financial. And I put a little description in here for SEO purposes. You'd want to put a bit more, most likely. I did a icon that looks like a graph. Chart maybe. Chart. Yep, this one. And I did an image. So I'm going to save the image to my computer here. Save. All right, so let's upload this image. Where did I save it to? Save image as, okay, there we go. Wrong folder. There we go. So we've got pretty close to a match that we want this to apply to the experts listing type. There we go. All right, and add new category. Next up, we need to do a region. So let's go to regions. We need to put that United States in there. And let's see, I did a slug of US, just to keep it short. And that's all I did with that one. So we're just building out that hierarchy again here. Okay, so next up would be our state, which is California in this case. And now for the parent region, we want to place that under the United States. And for the slug, I did CA. Again, we're doing the abbreviations. And for the icon on all of these, I just did map. Chose this map. And you can put a description in here if you want for the SEO. Totally up to you. And this is going to apply, regions apply to all listing types. So we're going to say add region. And that, again, you see that hierarchy starting to build. We're going to do the same thing again. This time we're going to do San Diego for our child region page. This time our parent region is going to be California. And I believe I did SA for the abbreviation. No, I went full on this. So the slug will just be, you leave that as is because it's just going to pull in San Diego. All right. And I think I did a map on literally every, yeah. So for all of these, I did a map icon. You don't have to do an icon if you don't want. Totally up to you. But we are recreating this starter site. Okay, so we've got our region hierarchy built out here. Now we can go back into our listing. Let's update this. Now we've got some stuff to choose from. So we're going to choose our industry, which is business and financial. Our nearest major city is United States, California, San Diego. Let's update. Go back to our experts explore page, refresh, and now we see that footer starting to, it's built out. Now, here we go. So this is what I was starting to say before I got off on the tangent and had to go back and recreate those taxonomies. But typically on a MyListing website, when you see a region in the footer of the card, when you click that region, what happens? You click it, the Explore page just refreshes, but filters by all the listings with that, under that region. That's not the end of the world, but it's not great for SEO. Like it's great for searching and all that, but it's not great for SEO, and that's where the region pages come into play. All right. So how do we fix that? Well, we've got the region pages created, so that part's good to go. I then had what's called the enhanced region permalinks add-on created. All right. So we're going to implement that. Again, all of this is available from the club. So I'm going to pull that up here on my other screen off of Canvas. We're just going to copy new snippet, and it's going to be of type PHP. We'll leave everything as is. We're just going to put a title for the snippet in here. Okay, I'm going to copy the code. Save and enable it. Now, just that easy, just by doing what we did there. Okay, watch what happens when I refresh. Oh, there's one more step here. We need the Permalinks Manager Pro plugin. So for that, let's go add a plugin. I've got guides and videos on all of this stuff, guys. So that's why I'm not going super in depth here. All right, let me get this installed. We're looking for Permalink Manager Pro. Here we go. Install. Activate. All right, let me license this up just so I can get rid of that nag and get it updated to the latest version, just because I like to do that. This will just take a second. And let's see, 1 second, let me get this licensed up. So yeah, so that's part of this, you got to get this plugin, it's required. Get this plugin installed, activated, get the add-on from the club, enhanced listing, enhanced region, permalinks. All right, let's get this updated here. Let me get the key, license key. Drop that in. All right, cool. So we should be licensed up now. Let's go update the plugin. All right, we'll wait for that. It'll jar itself loose here. I believe here in a second. Sometimes it needs to takes a bit to recognize that it is an actual licensed product. says it is. Let's try one more time and then we'll move on. There we go. Okay, so we got that in place. We've got our add-on in place. Now, it should just be a matter of refreshing the page. And now when we click this region down here, it's going to take us to the actual region page and not just refresh the Explore page. And it did, so we need to figure out why that is, and I know why that is. Another piece of the puzzle, we need to go to Settings at Permalink Manager Pro. Let me pull that up on Canvas here. Sorry, my recording software timer is getting in the way of everything. All right, so we need to go to Permastructure, and we need to drop in this structure for our listings. Okay. So what we're saying here is we're using a variable, and we're saying whatever the listing region. Let's add that. So we're going to add that immediately after the domain name, listing region, and then we're going to put the listing type. And then we're going to put the listing category, and then we're going to put the actual name of the listing. Some people don't like to have URLs this long. This day and age, it doesn't really. It's shorter URLs. It doesn't really matter. The more granular, the better in some cases, right? Sometimes it's a preference of people. They just don't like those long URLs. Totally up to you. But we're going to save the permalink structure here, and let's go look at the actual listing. So you can see, you know what, we can do that from here. So let's go ahead and refresh. Let's look at this listing on the front end, and you'll see its structure now. If you don't see it, which we see here, it's not actually taking hold. So when that happens, you need to go to Tools. This is all within the Permalink Manager plugin. And you want to go to Regenerate and Reset. You want to make sure that Listings is chosen. And we're just going to go with what's published here. But you can easily also just do like select all, and then click Regenerate. That's the fastest way to get you there. Now we see that the old URL now flipped to the SEO optimized URL. All right, let's go ahead and we'll go back to this level and refresh. Look at that listing on the front end now. And there we go. So now we see that the SEO optimized URL is in place. Now, when I click this region taxonomy in the preview card footer, it should take us to the region page. It did not. So let's try one more thing here. Let's go to WordPress settings, permalinks, and let's flush our permalinks just to tell WordPress, hey, let's reset some things. I like to do that a couple of times. Let's try again. That didn't take hold. All right, so we need to figure out why that is. Let's go back to our pages. Just double check everything. So we've got US, California, San Diego. That all looks good. So we've got our structure. If we go to that page, San Diego on the front end, we should see that built out. So okay, here we go. See there it says United States. That's my fault. So we got to go back to the pages. The region slug. Okay, so listings and then regions. The slug that you use here, we see the slug is US. Must match the region page name. All right, so we need to go into our page for the US, and we need to change this slug. Clear out this custom slug down there and update. Okay, so that should give us the slug of US, and it does. Now, when I go to San Diego on the front end, it should have US in there. Let's see, so now we've got to flush our permalinks again. So settings, permalinks. Part of the reason I like doing these types of videos, I could have over edited this. I could have gone back and re-recorded until I got it absolutely perfect and there was no steps that I was fumbling through. But I think it's valuable for people to see how the process goes, and I work through this stuff, I think it's valuable. At least that's my opinion. San Diego and then view again. There we go. So now that's working, but we see here that California needs to be, its slug needs to be changed. Okay. So it's California. Let's change the slug to CA. Let's clear this out. Update. Let's do the same process. Go to permalinks. Flush them a couple times. This is a tip that a lot of people don't know. Flushing permalinks. So we're learning some stuff here. All right. Let's try refreshing again here. Yeah, that's going to do. I figured that was going to happen. Let's go back to our Explore page. And now let's click on San Diego. There we go. All right. So we fumbled through that, but it's just learning how to recreate everything that was done. Let's close a few pages here, a lot going on. But there we go. And now if you click on California, which is the parent, boom. Now you've got your region pages are ready to be built out. Everything is set up as long as you get those slugs in place. And that's totally up to you. You don't have to use, let's go back to San Diego to look at that structure. You don't have to use US. You could do the full United States, which would be the default. You don't have to use CA as the abbreviation for California. You could do full California. It's just the way that I did to kind of shorten these URLs. So it's totally up to you. The key thing is to make sure that the slug of the region of the page matches the actual taxonomy slug. That's the key. All right. Okay, now that's a lot to take in. I understand. Okay, let's go back to the Explore page. Now the same thing. We're not going to go into the categories thing here, but the same add-on for the club, but for categories. So now imagine, go to the listing types, go to expert, the expert listing type. Now imagine in the preview card, instead of doing regions, we do categories. So let's flip that over. Refresh. We now see that categories there. Now, if I click category, what's it going to do? It's going to refresh the Explore page and sort by that category. So the same thing, the same principle. It's just a different add-on from the club that targets categories. You build your category page, whatever you want to call it. Now, when they click here, it's going to take them to the category page. And I've got a video out there on it. You can read all about it. Let me pull up the club website here real quick. So you come out here, MyListing Club website. Under the MyListing Add-ons section, we've got enhanced listing category permalinks. Then there's the enhanced region permalinks. That's what we just implemented, those two things. All right. So you can check those out more in depth. But I showed you how it works with the regions. It works exactly the same with categories. All right. So we handled that and that. All right. Next up, and I'll get you out of here, is the author pages. Okay, we don't actually create individual author pages. This is 100% dynamic. So we go instead over to templates. And we're going to import the author template from Canvas. Okay, there it is. Let's go ahead and edit that and see what it's all about. And you would just style this however it is that you want to style it. It's going to pull information from the current author. Let's go ahead and pull this up on the front end. Author, and then, you know what? This is an easy way to do it. So instead of trying to figure out what the URL is, just go to the actual profile of the user. And then we scroll down and we scroll down. I am brain farting on where we see, you know what? Go to the actual user. Take that back. View. There we go. Go to the actual user, click view, view it on the front end. We see by default, this is what MyListing gives you, and it's not great. I'm not going to get into all the reasons why I do that. I've got videos and stuff on why this isn't great. So we want to flip this. All right. So to apply our design to take over what MyListing gives you by default, we need to go edit our template and edit the display conditions. Add condition. We want to include this on all author archives and just do all. Now you can create individual author archive styles, designs, whatever for different authors. There's ways to do that. You can specify individual authors here. We're just going to do all. Okay, save that, save that. Now when we refresh this on the front end, we're going to see our new template take hold. There we go. So we're pulling in the avatar for the user, the profile image, their username. These are links to the various sections here. So that's how that works. And it's going to automatically populate here. So the bio is going to pull from the author info bio box. So if I go edit my username, I put in blah, 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 that's going to populate the bio for the latest post. Let's see, it didn't pull something in here, so let me check that out. So I'm going to pull up the template here on Canvas really quick and see what's going on there. That's loading up. That's loading up. We've got a bit of color design differences too. So this this top container here, we've got a background color of our canvas gray. The author box, the name of the actual author is large. So this right here, and the text is black. So author, the text is black, and large was our global font there. So that will match that up. Our buttons are a little different. We went lighter from left to right. So we started with 20% lighter on the left. So this one's 20% lighter. So button background, 20% lighter. So this one would be 10% lighter. This would be our accent, and then this one on the far right would be 10% darker. There we go. So that's our left or right, light to dark. So we got the bio, we ironed that out. Next up is our post. Okay, now I'm remembering why the posts haven't been showing. We have another plugin, really awesome plugin, by the way, is the dynamic, let me get its exact name, Dynamic Content or Elementor plugin. All right, as you see here, it's not in the repository, so we are going to install it from my workstation here real quick. This is included in all of the starter sites. All right, I won't get into all of this, but for now, we're just going to leave everything enabled. For optimization reasons, you don't want to leave all of this stuff enabled, but we're just going to go with that for now. Okay, let's go ahead and refresh our author page and see what that gives us now. Yeah, because we didn't have that in place already before we implemented the template. That's another key thing. See, this is why we do this. If you implement import templates before you have the other foundational pieces in place, it's not going to work. So that is the reason why I'm very adamant about the build notes for these sites. Okay, so if we go to starter sites and then Canvas, and we scroll down to the build notes section, and we look at author page, wherever that is. Where's that at? Author page, author page. Am I missing it? Why am I missing it? There it is, author pages. So I go in here and I talk about this plugin, how it plays a massive role, and all of that. So you need to have that in place. I'm not sure if I actually specifically mentioned that. So this is, education there. Whenever you're implementing something and it doesn't look quite right, you just make sure you have the required components in there for it. Okay. So which in this case is that plugin. So what are we going to do here? Let's just start over. Let's go to our templates. And let's find that author template, and we're just going to start over. All right, let's import that template again. Okay, that's in. So then make sure I save this. There we go. All right, let's go edit that template. There we go. All right, so that worked. All right, we won't touch this top part up here. I already showed you how to style that. We will leave all these headings as is. We don't need to get super fine grained in there. The main key is we now have this stuff in place. This is automatically going to pull this text right here again from the author bio. This widget here, latest post, is going to pull. We look at the query. It's going to automatically pull any posts that are published under query filter by the author. Okay, we don't have any posts right now. So let's go over to Canvas. And let's bring our posts over. So I'm going to Tools and then Export. And this is under WordPress. I'll show you there. So Tools and then Export. That's what I'm doing over on Canvas. I'll just let me show you. Export, and we're going to choose Posts. We're going to just go with the defaults to export everything. Download export file. Now over here on this site, we're going to go to Tools, Import. We're going to go down to WordPress, and we need to click Install Now to get that importer added. And then we're going to click Run Importer. Choose File. Choose our export file, upload file and import. We'll just assign everything to my current admin account in here. So we chose that. We'll go ahead and choose download and import file attachments and click submit. Okay, so that's done. Let's look at our posts. We've got those in there. All right, so now when I refresh this template, we should see some posts populate in there. All right, let's check the front end here and see if that's jarring anything loose on the front end. We need to, since we've re-imported this template, we need to assign it again. So display conditions, add conditions, author archives, all authors, save, refresh. Let's refresh our author page. There we go. So we need to figure out why these posts aren't coming in here. the author, that all looks good. That all looks good. Let's go back to our template, latest posts. It should just work. No, it's wanting another template. That's why. All right. So let me pull this up over on Canvas. And all of this stuff that we're going through, it's all documented, guys, in the build notes for Canvas. If you have any questions, you can ask me. If something is missing, let me know. We'll work together on getting the documentation updated. I'll get you the information you need, but it should all be over there in the build notes. Okay, so I'm pulling up the author template over on Canvas. I'm going to figure out what other template we need here. All right, so latest post is pulling from a template called the loop item category style 1. So we're going to do is pull that in from Canvas. Okay, found it. All right, let's go import that template. Again, available. This is available from the club. All of these pieces, I tell you how to put them all together. This is why I always say, guys, just buy the damn starter site. I understand like pulling bits and pieces. I get all that. That's absolutely 1000% fine. But if you're like trying to really recreate this 100%, like it's just buy the starter site. All right, so we have that template in there. Let's go ahead and refresh and see if it picks up on that. I'm guessing we're going to have to just reassign it. Okay, that's fine. So you see the template that it's looking for here. That doesn't exist. So we're going to look for that new template we just imported. There we go. Canvas loop. There we go. We have posts. All right. What's this one down here? All posts. I think that's the same template. It might be different. Let's see. The all post template is looking for, yeah, we did the same there. So we're just going to choose that same loop. Go. We're not going to worry about styling, and this video has already ran on far enough, but you get the idea of how you change the styling of this stuff. All right, and then last, excuse me, the last one here is the listings, and that is pulling from no template. I built that by hand. So what we're saying here with this template, or not even a template, but the settings here, we're just designing it with the options built from the plugin, okay? And we've built a grid here. This is all, you can customize this to your heart's content. For the items, we are just pulling in, we are querying any listings, okay, that are published, similar to like the blog post, any listings that are published, and then under query filter by the author. So anything this author publishes, that's what's going to pull in here. And again, these pages are 100% dynamic. So it doesn't matter who the author is. As soon as that author is on your website, this page is going to populate with all of their information. There's nothing additional that you need to do. If you want to change the design and stuff like that, then yeah, you can go in here and do that. But their pages are automatically going to dynamically be created. Okay. But again, we're not going to go through all the styling here. Like, you get the idea from earlier in this video about how we go in and you make it your own or match it up with Canvas if you totally want to do that. One other key component, and I'll get you out of here. To be able to do this, to be able to pull from listings this way, you have to have a code snippet. All right, so we're going to put the ability to unlock the listings. So if we go to WP Code Box, pull this over here. You know what? I take that back. With this plugin, it lets you grab those. But typically you need, under query here, you see we're querying listings. that's one of the beauties of this plugin, because typically you need a code snippet to be able to get to the actual listings. So like if you look at these posts, for example, not here. So let's just say hypothetically we dropped in just a regular post widget from Elementor. So let's see here, posts right here. Let's just drop this in for hypothetical. And then you click on here and then you query. You see how you can't choose listings here? You need a code snippet for that. But with this particular plugin, it's powerful enough that it can find those listings and be able to pull from there. All right. All right, guys, I think that is it. There's a lot. That was a lot. That was a lot. Let's refresh this page. There we go. There we go. All right, guys, I think I covered everything I wanted to cover in this lesson. And yeah, hope all is well. I'll catch you in the next one.